Okay. Probably doesn't understand what we're saying. Doesn't look like any cogs are turning in there. Whoops! Sorry! No offense intended!
You there! You dare disrespect our elder? Oh, you mean... Oh, I see. Sorry, my mistake. Apparently you are here by invitation, in which case it's my job to make you feel welcome. Some introductions are in order. I am Kaholam, one of the priests of our tribe. And this is our Iktomisor elder, the great Tlapokpok-Teets-Tatel, a living totem among the masters of the Night Wind.
Whoa, that's quite a tongue twister.
In truth, we usually go with Elder Tlapo for short. You're welcome to do the same. Ah, I assume you're referring to our Elder's special ability. Elder Tlapo has been alive for many centuries and harbors secrets that even we priests are at a loss to explain. So your reaction is entirely natural. But one thing I can say for sure is that Elder Tlapo has appointed the two of you to an extremely important task. For this reason, I would like to ask you to undergo a test.
What sort of task? And what kind of test?
If it's all right with you, I'll take you to see our chief. He's in a much better position to answer your questions.
Okay, sure.
Very well. Then please follow me. You can use this scroll to go directly to the obsidian altar, where the chief is. Don't worry, it's just one of the many mystical abilities of our tribe. You can use this scroll to go directly to the obsidian altar, where the chief is. Don't worry, it's just one of the many mystical abilities of our tribe.
Whoa, what was that just now?
One of the routine duties of a priest. We attempt to contact the spirits of our ancestors to seek epiphanies and revelations. The chief is just over there. Please wait here while I have a word with him. I'll just be a moment.
Well, the Masters of the Night Wind are definitely living up to their reputation as the mysterious ones.
All right, I've told the chief why we're here, and now you may speak with him. Right this way.
So, you two are the appointed ones. I am Chief Biram. Welcome, and thank you for your patience.
So tall.
Unusually so. Yes, I am aware, but I assure you, it's no cause for alarm.
Oh, no, of course not. Sorry, Paimon just reacted without thinking.
Ah, yes. Kaholam told me about that. As outsiders to our tribe, this is probably the first you've heard of such appointments. I'm sure the whole thing seems very confusing. Throughout our history, only members of the Masters of the Night Wind have been appointed to undertake these tasks. This is the first time an outsider has ever been chosen.
Really?
Allow me to explain. Our tribe has an old tradition of recording history in the form of woven scrolls. And not just our own history. We record the legends and heroic feats of all other tribes as well. It is a tradition we have observed for many centuries. We treat it as a solemn duty. However, when a major event occurs that affects all of Natlan, we record it on a different kind of scroll, used for this exact purpose. And these scrolls can only be woven by someone of the Iktomisor Elder's choosing. When the Iktomisor Elder senses a major change in the ley lines, it will issue a formal declaration to appoint a creator for this scroll.
Whoa, so you mean...
Elder Talapo sensed a ley line change quite some time ago, but had not yet designated the scroll weavers until you arrived.
Okay, but just so you're aware, we don't know the first thing about weaving scrolls.
As a matter of fact, that does not surprise me at all.
How come?
In the 200 years that Elder Talapo has held this position, none of the appointed ones have ever been experienced scroll weavers.
Does that mean 200 years of major historical events have gone unrecorded?
No. They all submitted scrolls in time, yet each of them claimed it was not their own work, but a gift from the spirits.
Man, this tribe gets more mysterious by the second.
Yes, well, that is the part that troubles me. The notion that we have to rely on esoteric things like gifts from the spirits to record historical events of such great importance. It is unsettling.
Huh. That's pretty surprising to hear, coming from the chief of this tribe.
I can imagine. You probably see the Masters of the Night Wind as a people shrouded in mystery, who pride ourselves on our arcane practices. But I am something of an exception. I may be the chief, but when it comes to our traditions, I'm in fact a proponent of change and reform. I have dedicated my energies to deciphering the many mysteries of our tribe. In doing so, I hope to establish clearer rules that will help sustain our traditions in the future.
Wow, that sounds great! So have you figured out the mystery of the gift from the spirits?
Sadly not. It is something I've been investigating for a long time, but I have yet to uncover what this gift truly refers to. Only a small handful of events over the years have been recorded on these special scrolls, with decades between each one. And by the time the next scroll weaver is appointed, my time as chief will be long gone. I will not be in a position to investigate as thoroughly.
So...
While I haven't gotten to the bottom of the matter, I have made some progress. But the only way I can develop my theories further is with the cooperation of the Appointed Ones. Precisely. It's nothing to be worried about. Simply a means of validating my current hypothesis. It shouldn't take you long, nor will it put you in any danger. I can explain everything in detail when we get to the site of the test. But first, please wait a moment while I change out of the soul-shielding cloak. This garb is one of our important cultural relics, handed down by generations of chiefs. It is only to be worn when conducting certain ceremonies.
Oh!
Please, follow me. Do you see this scroll? If you touch it, you will enter a hidden space. Today's test is, quite simply, to find a way to escape that space.
That's it?
I assure you, it's not as easy as it sounds. If you cannot find your own way out, I will of course intervene to bring you back here. But then, we will be no closer to solving this mystery. Good. Simply touch the scroll to begin the test. You may begin whenever you're ready.
Whoa, we really did get teleported. It seems like this place is completely sealed off. Doesn't look like there's an exit anywhere. Let's take a look around and see what we can find. There are so many woven scrolls here. Paimon remembers seeing some of them before in other tribes. They seem to record historical events. This one really stands out from the rest. For starters, it's the biggest of them all. Wonder what story it tells. Yeah, you're right. Over there, something just flashed. Traveler, did you catch that? Oh, right. Paimon's with you.
It is just as I thought. You are indeed capable of undertaking this mission. Yes. You saw many distinctive-looking scrolls there, didn't you?
Sure did.
This specific kind of scroll was left to us by our ancestors. Upon investigation, I discovered what sets it apart is the use of a color not featured in ordinary scrolls. It is a most mysterious color that most people cannot even detect. I myself had to employ special techniques to confirm its existence. Yet there are those who are born with a natural ability to perceive it. And that is why I wanted to test you.
You mean...
That space you just entered was an exhibition room for storing this variety of woven scrolls. Centuries ago, a great shaman by the name of Huitzilin put in place a security measure so that anyone who entered the room without permission will become trapped inside. It exists to this day, and although I have not managed to decipher how it works, I have at least found out how to turn it on and off. Once someone is trapped inside, it is all but impossible for them to escape without outside help, unless they share the great shaman's ability to perceive that strange color. Clearly, you must have this ability, which leads me to believe that our Ictomisor Elder can sense this ability in people, and that it appoints a scroll weaver on this basis.
Another secret power? Traveler, you are full of mysteries. Still, having this ability doesn't change the fact that neither of us know where to start with weaving a scroll.
Don't worry about that. The method for weaving this kind of scroll appears to be largely the same as for an ordinary scroll. The main difference is in the dye that gives it its unique color. If my suspicions are correct, this dye is the key to weaving the scroll, and your special ability is the key to obtaining it. The dyeing process is also a little different from the norm, but I don't anticipate any major issues there. As long as you two can source the dye itself, I can assist with the application.
Cool! We'll follow your lead!
Great! Then please use your abilities to source the necessary ingredients. And in the meantime, I will have someone prepare some fabric for test dyeing. We'll make a few sample pieces to test out my hypothesis. And if that goes well, we can begin the scroll in earnest. If you agree to help, you can expect to be handsomely rewarded once this is all over. So, what are your thoughts?
Agreed, especially if there's a reward in it. What is the reward, by the way? Is it food? Paimon hopes it's food.
Given the stakes involved for our tribe, I was thinking a substantial sum of mora would be appropriate. Surely that would be preferable to just a free meal.
Mora works too. Anyway, how do we go about finding these ingredients? Are we supposed to just keep walking around Natlan until we stumble across them?
Thankfully not. I've already identified a location where I suspect they may be found, and I've arranged for someone to guide you there. Your guide is waiting just outside. You can set off at your leisure.
I take it you're the ones appointed by Elder Talapo?
Yep, and you are...
Call me Toltec. The chief asked me to be your guide for the day. His messengers already filled me in on the situation, so just follow me.
So the dye is somewhere in this cave, huh?
This is as far as I can take you. Only the appointed ones may proceed from here.
Why's that?
Kind of a long story. Apparently, there's a certain fruit that grows in this cave, the juice of which can be processed to make an excellent dye. Many years ago, our ancestors set out to make a series of ambitious works of graffiti art. They selected this cave to make them in, presumably due to the availability of the dye. However, they didn't want anyone to see their work before it was completed, and so they sealed off the entrance to control access. To bypass the seal, you have to have mastered the art of color perception, or something like that.
Oh, right.
The strange thing is, our ancestors never removed the seal, even after they finished the graffiti art. Since it was sealed off, the only person who's been inside is the great shaman, Citlali, and that was 300 years ago. According to her, the artwork tells the story of a hero by the name of Kuntur. But I digress. Sorry, I'm a big fan of graffiti artwork. Once I get talking, I can go on for hours.
So you're sure you don't want to come with us?
I'll pass. I tried to get in once, but the seal blocked my way. I tried getting my Iktomi to clear it with its powers, but even that didn't work. I guess it's supposed to be a test left there by our ancestors. If you don't pass the test, you're not worthy of viewing their works of art.
Aww.
Don't worry about me, though. I wouldn't be joining you this time even if I was able to get in. Unlike our chief, I don't have the guts to challenge our traditions. This task is specifically appointed to someone by the Iktomi Elder. Who knows what bad things might happen if I got involved?
Fair enough. All right, we'll try not to take too long.
You two head on in. I'll wait right here.
like there's no way past. Maybe try the same thing as before? Hey, it worked! Let's head in and take a look. This should be the place. That fruit Toltec mentioned should be the one on the wall, right? Now the only question is, which ones do we pick? Well, go ahead, try it out! You saw something, right? Whatever it was, grab it! These guys' ancestors made some real works of art here. But based on what we've seen so far, it seems like there should be more to the story. Do you think maybe there's more artwork further inside? Seems kinda strange. Yeah, you're right. There's always next time. Let's head back and meet up with Toltec. We're back, and we found the ingredients for the dye!
Sounds like you made it through the seal then. Our Iktomisaur Elder was right about you. It's getting late. Follow me. I'll take us back.
Toltec has updated me on your progress. Well done. I appreciate your efforts.
Sure thing! Here's the stuff for the dye.
I see. Yes. This is certainly a very different substance from typical dyes. Okay, now let's try our hand at making some samples. The fabric is ready for testing.
Got it!
Please come with me. Take a look at this. It's a woven scroll made by one of our ancestors. This is the kind of thing we're trying to make.
Ooh!
The person depicted is the legendary shaman, Huitzilin. She lived 200 years ago and was once appointed by the Iktomi Elder, like yourselves. She was especially skilled in the art of color manipulation, and of course completed her task with flying colors. This scroll is a record of her deeds, and was most likely the work of her own hand. The quality is simply breathtaking, even compared to other scrolls of this variety. Sadly, since she passed away, all of our Iktomi Elder's subsequent appointees have had to rely on the gift from the spirits to complete their work. That's a good way of putting it. My only quibble with your phrasing would be, it's not just me, but us.
Now Paimon's getting excited.
Bring out the samples. Now, as I mentioned, the dyeing process is a little complicated, but I am confident you will manage. Just make sure to follow my instructions carefully. The pattern has already been sketched out on the sample, so you just need to dye each block with the correct color. But you'll need to wait for the dye to fully soak in between each step to make sure the colors don't run. Ha ha ha! Good! The dye has taken to the fabric, and the pattern is crisp and clear. Next, apply all the remaining dye, and we should see that elusive signature color emerge.
Okay, final step. Did it work? Paimon doesn't see it.
Oh, that color isn't showing up. Oh, the dyeing has failed. No, your technique was flawless. You did everything exactly as instructed. It would have made no difference if I'd done it myself.
Then what went wrong?
It could be the weaving technique, or maybe the dye has to be applied in a different way. Oh, whatever the case, it looks like I have failed to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Sorry, Paimon wishes we could do more to help.
I am the one who should be apologizing. I made you do so much work, and it was for nothing. I will, of course, honor my commitment to compensate you for your trouble, but I do hope you won't give up on this task. I plan to keep investigating, and will be sure to keep you updated with any progress.
Don't worry, we're not quitters. Paimon does have a question, though. This whole process of recording history on woven scrolls seems so complicated. Why don't you just write it down instead? You said yourself you're all about change and reform. Well, this seems like a pretty good place to start, don't you think? Writing things down would be easier for everyone, and your records would be more detailed.
I think you perhaps misunderstood my philosophy, but that's okay. I can answer your question, but there's somewhere I need to show you first.
Oh, sure.
Weather's fine and I'm feeling great.
Cool. Look at this view. What do you think?
It's gorgeous!
Now, try looking a little further.
Whoa, that graffiti!
In all the years since the founding of our tribe, those colors have been with us every step of the way. It is true that I seek to bring new life to this ancient tribe through change and reform, but I also understand there are certain foundational things that we cannot afford to throw away. The foremost of these is the way we record our history.
Oh, that makes sense.
Since the very beginnings, our tribe has always sought to bring color to history. And I have a deep sense that this is one part of our heritage that we should not give up. So, whatever it takes, I must find a way for us to continue producing our traditional woven scrolls.
You're completely right. Paimon's sorry for what she said earlier. It was out of line.
It's quite all right. I'm just grateful you're able to understand where I'm coming from. Then let us hope that when we next meet, we succeed in reviving this tradition.
Here. That's a little concerning. Let's go over there and see what they're up to. Also, how did they get this close to a tribal settlement? Huh. All the Fatui left in Natlan are probably the captain's subordinates. That basically makes them followers of one of Natlan's heroes. Still, once a Fatus, always a Fatus. Something seems off seeing them here. Let's go check it out. What are you guys doing here?
Following orders. If you have a problem, take it up with our employer.
Hey, what's with the attitude? Can the Fatui even work for a private employer?
This is Grudok. I hired him to be my bodyguard in Natlan. As you can see, he's not the sociable type. I'm sorry for any offense. My original plan was to hire someone from the local tribes, but a priest recommended Grudok and his squad. I was told they were capable fighters and had the time to spare, so they fit the bill. It seems like the Fatui's reputation in Natlan is quite positive.
So that's what happened. Then you must be from Fontaine?
Precisely! Montluçon, at your service. I work in the publication business. And you two... Wait, you must be the Traveler and his fairy companion.
Oh, you know us?
A golden-haired traveler with a floating companion. There's no mistake. Your exploits in Fontaine have all the makings of a best-selling series. I'd be a failure of a book merchant if I couldn't recognize you.
Wow, we're really famous at this point, Traveler.
It's truly my lucky day. I know this is sudden, but I was actually looking for you two. You see, I have a favor to ask.
So, you chased us all the way to Natlan? That's a little creepy.
You'll be generously rewarded, I promise you.
Well, at least he got straight to the point. Should we hear what he has to say? All right, we'll hear your request.
You know the great shaman Citlali, right? I need her help with something.
Yeah, the chances of her helping a random stranger just because we asked? Yeah, Citlali really doesn't like dealing with strangers.
I heard about that from other members of her tribe. But they told me if one person could convince her, it would be the golden-haired traveler. If you manage it, I'll even double your pay.
Oh yeah, we should definitely get to the bottom of that first.
It's kind of a long story, and there's tribal history involved, so you should hear it from an expert. Alie, if you could.
Of course. I don't often have an eager audience for this kind of thing. Nice to meet you. The name's Alie. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. Unlike most researchers, I have a keen interest in ancient ruins. That's why I was invited to join Monsieur Montluçon's team. Have you heard of the legend of the great shaman Citlali? Yes, according to local records, she was a color mystic who lived over 200 years ago, and the most adept in her tribe at using that particular technique. Out of all of her exploits, her most celebrated is the Battle of Seven Colors. According to legend, the battle was triggered by an abyss invasion, one of the most brutal in Natlan's history, even from a greater historical perspective. Amazingly, Natlan was able to turn the tide despite being at an extreme disadvantage. The key to victory was none other than a color Citlali created on the battlefield. The color was extraordinary, illusory in appearance while also seeming to possess physical form. Legend has it that Citlali used the color to construct a magnificent maze on the battlefield and trap all the enemies inside. This allowed her allies to launch a counterattack and ultimately secure victory.
Anyway, that's the gist of it. We don't want to take up too much of your time. That story is the reason I came to Natlan. I often publish books about the history of other nations. They always end up faring well on the market. When I heard this story for the first time, I wanted to include it in my next collection, but historical records about Natlan aren't very detailed. We haven't been able to determine where the battle took place, or find any definitive evidence that it occurred at all. Even within the Masters of the Nightwind, people dispute the legitimacy of the story. Some believe it to be a myth. If that were the case, the story would not be fit for publication.
But if you're just including it in a story collection, why does it matter if it never happened?
Well, you see, the slogan for the collection is Restoring the Truth of History. Naturally, I needed to be factual. That's why I'm here. The Masters of the Nightwind are said to have a tradition of recording past events, so I wanted to consult their records. But I was refused access to the Obsidian Altar. Application after application, and all I received were a few ordinary woven scrolls with nothing to offer. Honestly, I'm just trying to promote their history, and they make such a fuss.
According to my research, their scrolls are considered sacred relics in addition to historical records. Naturally, outsiders are rarely granted access. Not to mention, the scrolls we did get to review actually contain a huge amount of information. I just need more time, and I could...
We've been over this, Allier. There's no need to waste time on those scrolls when we have a better way.
Citlali, you mean?
Exactly. You're well aware, I'm sure, that Citlali has been alive for more than 200 years. That means she lived during the era of the Battle of Seven Colors. If she agrees to be my consultant, then no other historical records are necessary.
Oh, that's what you want.
So, what do you say? I'll quadruple the pay if it helps sweeten the deal.
Well, it's not that we don't want to help you. Oh, right! The duty the chief gave us has a lot to do with wheat sealing. Who knows? The Battle of Seven Colors might lead us in the right direction. All right, we'll help you convince Citlali. Just let us do the talking, okay?
Of course.
Finally got here, and now I can't find this.
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll show up soon.
So, this is where the great shaman lives? A bit far from civilization, isn't it? I hope the person who pointed us in this direction wasn't mistaken.
For someone like Citlali, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Is this graffiti her work too? I wonder if it's a cultural practice. If I could just copy it down,
We're here for a reason, Alier. As agreed, you two can do the talking, and we'll wait for you here.
Okay, we'll go knock on the door. Hopefully she's not hungover. Citlali? Are you there? We need your help with something! Oh, no response. Maybe she's not home. Oh, Granny Citlali? Are you home?
Hey, kid! If you're here to challenge me, book an appointment first. Traveler!
Looks like we came at a bad time.
Are you still there? Just come in. We can talk inside.
Well, at least we didn't get turned away. Huh. So this is where Citlali lives.
I, didn't have time to fully clean up the place. Complain if you want. Menial housework means nothing to a great shaman like myself. Besides, in light novels, people who keep everything neat and tidy are always too boring to be the protagonists. Also, I'm not a hermit. I'm just above superficial rules of societal etiquette.
She sure does care a lot about what we think of her.
Oh, and that spell I used to transfer my senses to you, you're not still, experiencing the side effects, are you? It's my duty as a great shaman to check that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean when we could hear your thoughts? Nope. It's been so long, we don't have to worry about that anymore, right?
Oh, then why do I hear the Traveler's thoughts in my head?
What?
I can still hear you, you know. Don't bother. I'll find a way to fix it. First you hear my thoughts, now I'm hearing your thoughts. It was just a simple spell. I use it on you, and now it's on the Fritz. Forget it. Just tell me why you're here.
Well, someone asked us to ask you to be their consultant. They have questions about the history of Natlan.
So they asked the hero of Natlan to put in a good word? Sounds like they know I don't usually trouble myself with other people's problems.
The pay is really good.
Doesn't matter, I'm busy.
She sure doesn't look busy. Paimon knew this wouldn't get us anywhere.
From you?
Yeah, we were given a sacred duty to help your tribe weave a special scroll.
Huh? So, you're the appointed ones this time?
We were surprised too. After all, we have no idea how to weave a scroll like that. But with Chef Biram's help, we were able to make some progress. We still haven't succeeded, but we learned that the key to weaving the scroll is a special kind of color. The historical event those men want to ask about also involves color. If you help them, you might end up helping us too. She's giving us that face again. Did Paimon not explain things clearly?
I can't decide whether this twist is completely out of the blue or if it was foreshadowed all along.
Does that mean you won't help us?
I need to think about it.
Then there's still hope.
Hey! What's the holdup? Just give us an answer already.
You agreed to let us do the talking! Citlali!
Stand down, Grudok. As your employer, if I tell you to wait, then you wait.
Understood.
You're the great shaman who's been alive for centuries? But you're so... Apologies for the disturbance. Grudok is a recent hire, so difficult to restrain sometimes.
You're lucky you didn't force Citlali's hand.
Well, since you're here, how about a discussion?
Do you have any idea who I am? Did you think Granny Eatsley would be fooled by your little performance? I have no intention of speaking to you. Your recent hire interrupted me right as I was about to make an important decision. Pull a trick like that again, and I'll make your lives a living horror novel, except 10 times worse. That's all I came out here to say.
Whoa.
Traveler, we have a discussion to finish.
You live up to your name, Granny Eatsley. I apologize for the offense. I'm just surprised the Battle of Seven Colors didn't pique your interest.
You're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Ah, the Traveler didn't get to that part? Yes, I thought the Traveler could help me convince you. But, if I'm not mistaken, you have a personal interest in this matter, don't you? I heard that the great shaman Huitzilin was a friend of yours. You two must have been close. If I can resolve the controversy and prove the battle took place, I'll include it in my next collection. Then, all of Teyvat will learn the truth. With your support, your friend's heroic deeds will once again be known throughout the land. Inspiring, don't you think?
If this is really about that duty, then... fine. I'll help you.
I'm honored.
Save it. I agreed to help the Traveler, not you. You'll just have to leech what you can.
Well, at least she agreed to help.
Who are you calling heartless?
Not a problem. I always plan to work with the Traveler. So, did you directly experience any events of the battle? Do you have any idea where it took place? Can you think of any relics we could use to prove it?
Talk at me, why don't you? Fine. No, no, and no. I did live during the same era as her, but that doesn't mean we experienced the same events. I've lived a long time, but I'm not a walking encyclopedia. You decide the angle of your investigation, and I'll provide answers if I'm familiar with the subject.
All right. Even if you didn't witness the battle yourself, you still lived through that era. Your insights are very valuable. Alier, you had an idea about where to start, yes?
Oh, well, my plan was to consult the members of the tribe in charge of recording history.
Then, let's start there. Traveler, what do you say to officially working together? After all, it appears I can only get Miss Citlali's help through you.
seem super invested in this whole thing, Citlali.
The Battle of Seven Colors is something I've only ever heard about. I know as much as anyone else in my tribe.
But how? Weren't you alive when it happened?
I wasn't there when it took place, and she never told me about it. That's how.
But Molo-san said the two of you were close friends. The battle was legendary. Why wouldn't Huitziling tell you about it?
Close friends? More like arch rivals. Something Montlusan would know if he actually did his research. Did you see the graffiti outside my house? That's not my doing. All students from Huitziling's School of Shamanism must pass an extremely difficult trial before graduation, defeating me in battle. Those graffiti drawings are how they challenge me. Of course, none of them ever succeeded. So, after Huitziling's death, her students had no choice but to modify the requirement. Instead of defeating me, all they have to do now is last long enough. As my rival, Huitziling only had one achievement that surpassed my own, and that was the Battle of Seven Colors. I can only assume she had some kind of secret technique at her disposal. It makes perfect sense that she kept it from me. I'm a fast learner. Telling me about the technique is no different than handing it to me on a silver platter. As if she would give away her one advantage.
Oh, that makes sense.
Anyway, all of that is secondary. Like I said, I'm only here to help you fulfill your duty. Don't misunderstand. This duty is important for my tribe, too. A great shaman should do her part to see it done. Excuse you? I fail to see what housekeeping has to do with my duty as a shaman. Why is it that you're the one whose thoughts are exposed, but I'm still the one suffering? I need to get to the bottom of this.
Excuse me, Great Shaman, but we have a situation over here. We could really use your help.
Okay.
Of course the Battle of Seven Colors happened. The woven scroll proves it. Huitziling used a mysterious color to construct a maze and trap the enemies inside.
That's just your interpretation. There's more than one way to understand that scroll. Besides, constructing a maze out of color is ridiculous.
Huitziling was one of the most powerful shamans of her time. She definitely could have pulled it off.
That's the biggest problem. She had students. Why not pass it down? A technique that powerful? And no shaman since has ever used it?
Her students are keeping it a secret, of course. If you knew a technique like that, you'd be a fool to show it to just anyone.
Oh, I didn't mean to cause an argument. I just wanted to ask, is there anything we can use to prove the battle took place?
Of course it took place. Why would you need to prove it?
You'll have to excuse him. Some people in our tribe insist on clinging to outdated views of history. I'd give up now if I were you. It only gets more ridiculous from here.
Please don't fight.
Wow, so the battle really is controversial.
Am I the outdated one? Kids these days can't find anything better to argue about?
These arguments are precisely why I hesitate to include this story in my collection. Neither side was able to offer anything useful. What should we do?
Huitziling was a passionate teacher. We were opposites in that sense. The technique she used in the battle must have been her masterpiece. There's every reason to pass it on. Still, if the technique is powerful enough to single-handedly stop an invasion, it also makes sense that her disciples would keep it a secret. We should check with the students from her school. If we can confirm the technique exists, we can deduce certain things about the battle.
But as far as I know, most of the shamans from her school occupy high positions in the tribe. Not the type of people outsiders like us can speak to on a whim.
Right. The obsidian altar is off limits to you. But, if I go...
Is there a problem?
Most of Wheatsealing students are respected priests in the tribe. But that means they had to go through me. Or try, at least. I, of course, humiliated them from a young age. Those who hold the position now are the ones who lasted long enough before I wiped the floor with them. If I show up without warning, they'll run for dear life. That's not gonna get us any answers.
Yeah, Paimon can see it now.
Hey, don't jump to conclusions. That was just a metaphor. Only you have the guts to joke like that with me, Traveler. Fine, I said I'd help, so I'll help. But don't blame me if it goes wrong.
Alright, the rest of you can wait for us here.
We appreciate the help.
Natlan's history is full of intriguing mysteries. It's too bad I can't talk to those priests myself.
Miss Citlali seems rather reluctant to help. Maybe you could talk to her a bit more. I'll reward you for the trouble.
Got a problem? Like I said, take it up with my employer.
Oh, are you in the middle of a ceremony?
Granny Eatsley?
What is she doing here?
Did some coward not show up after challenging her to a fight?
Or is she here to officially take over the tribe?
Whoa. It's like they really do see her as some kind of tyrant.
No matter what, we'll defend our dignity as priests to the end.
Ugh, you talk a big game for someone who lost to me the most out of the entire priesthood.
What?
All I want is to ask some questions.
So, you're here to interrogate us?
Someone didn't sit pretty for their beating? Is that it? You want their name, don't you?
We should just run!
Yeah, with the hero of Natlan here, Granny Eatsley will be on her best behavior.
Sure, whatever you say.
Oh, it's the Traveler and his companion. That does make me feel better. How can we help you?
We wanted to ask about the technique you inherited from Wheatsealing.
So you can eradicate our school once and for all?
Disciples of our school have challenged her year after year, just as our master instructed. Sounds like she's finally had enough.
Well, you're not wrong.
If we want to protect our legacy, one of us needs to run!
Not this again. Just how much did you traumatize them, Citlali?
Hey! You can't just say whatever you want just because it's in your head. I'm Granny Eatsley. A mere mention of my name and kids burst into tears. Love and respect? Huh, no one has the guts for that. You know what? Forget about your duty. We really need to fix this mind-reading situation.
Sorry to disappoint, but if you're here to question whether we're qualified to inherit our master's legacy, we're not going down without a fight.
We're not getting anywhere. What should we do, Traveler?
Huh? Oh, it's you.
Elder Tlapo! Oh, we must have disturbed your meditation. Our deepest apologies. Please forgive us.
Did Elder Tlapo just issue a declaration?
From what I can tell, in a single word, the message was... friend?
Is Elder Tlapo telling us to treat Granny Eatsley as a friend?
That's not possible, is it?
Oh, you forget yourselves, my friends. You are esteemed priests of our tribe. Where are your manners?
But Chief!
I didn't expect to see you here, great shaman. My sincere apologies for the lack of hospitality.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning to come to this crowded place. So you can save the pleasantries, Chief. I'd rather get this over with.
Understood. Now, as successors of Huitzilin, I understand your friction with Granny Eatsley. However, Elder Tlapo's declarations have always showed us the correct path. You would do well to respect his counsel. So, mind your manners and allow Granny Eatsley to ask her questions.
Good thing Elder Tlapo and Chief Biram are on our side.
Why does Granny Eatsley want to question us all of a sudden?
Should we plan our answers in advance?
That brutal graduation exam. It's all coming back to me.
You heard the chief. There's no running away.
Hi there, Elder Tlapo! Hey, he seems pretty happy to see us.
He's the one who put you in charge of the scroll, right?
Yeah, Elder Tlapo appointed us to the task.
Elder Tlapo, huh? He's still Claw to me. Hey, don't pull that cutesy stuff with me. You're an Iktomisaur Elder now. You occupy an eminent and important position within the tribe.
So, you already know each other?
Claw was only this big when we first met. He was Huitzilin's Saurian companion back then. She kept dragging him to my place, so over time, we got to know each other. She only came to my place to fight me. But at the same time, she always claimed to be my friend. She was the only one who dared to try, at least.
Well, you've lived a long time. You've probably made a bunch of friends over the years, right?
The more time you have, the more friends you lose.
Oh,
Anyway, let's get back to business. I hate talking about the past. Oh, 200 years and you still haven't given up, Claw? I still haven't made up my mind, so you should head back. Traveler, Paimon, let's go.
Oh, wait. We haven't reached out since the last time we failed the task, huh?
I'm just grateful you haven't forgotten that duty.
Actually, we have good news! We found another clue!
I'm all ears.
It's the Battle of 7 Colors.
Huitzilin's claim to fame? That sounds promising. But the battle took place hundreds of years ago. An investigation is bound to be difficult.
True, but Granny Eatsterly promised to help.
Is that so? Huh. I've tried seeking her help in the past, but I never managed to coax her out. You should cherish this opportunity.
Hey, don't complain! None of the previous chiefs succeeded either.
Forgive me. That wasn't my intention. It was a comment on my own failings.
Paimon said you've been trying to figure out how to weave the special scroll.
It is my duty, Great Shaman.
Why bother? The scrolls always end up completed on time. So what's the point of figuring it out for yourself?
If I may, this task concerns the history of Natlan as a whole. And in many ways, history is the memory of a people. Memory is sacred to our tribe. I'm sure a great shaman understands that better than a humble junior like myself. Something this important cannot be left to baseless rumors. I know you don't concern yourself with the daily affairs of the tribe, Granny Eatsterly. Even so, as a priestess, I trust you wouldn't leave something like that to chance.
I get your point. Of course, the one time I wish you could read my mind, it doesn't work. No, that's not it!
Huh?
It's not important. Rest assured, Biram, with my help, the Traveler and Paimon will definitely be able to complete the task.
Haha. You have my thanks then. If you run into any more problems, I'm always willing to help.
Huh. So are you here to test whether we're qualified to inherit Master Huitzilin's legacy?
You've already been tested, haven't you? Well, frankly speaking, I don't think any of you are qualified. But that's not why I'm here. All you need to do is be good and answer my questions.
Fine. Ask away.
You've heard of the Battle of 7 Colors, right?
Of course. It's our master's claim to fame. An immortal legend inscribed in the very history of our tribe.
Then I'm sure you know there are those who question whether it actually occurred.
I did hear people arguing about that the other day.
It's disgraceful. How can they question something like that?
It doesn't surprise me. Natlan has had more tourism lately. A lot of people have started getting strange ideas after interacting with Outlanders. After all, everyone who took part in the battle has returned to the ley lines. Without witnesses, it's hard to refute detractors.
Well, it just so happens the questions I want to ask are directly related to the legitimacy of this battle.
Listen, we know you were rivals, but do you really have to question her legacy?
You think she's like you? Someone who can't survive a little scrutiny?
No, of course not.
Then let me finish. During the battle, Wheatsealing most likely used a technique powerful enough to turn the tides of war. I'm sure she was very proud of it. Proud enough to pass it on to her disciples. So, which one of you inherited that technique?
I don't think any of us have heard of it.
Listen, I'm not trying to take it for myself, so be honest. With or without it, I can wipe the floor with any of you.
Yeah, no objections there. But I'm telling the truth. None of us have ever heard of that technique.
What's wrong with her? Why would she let it go extinct?
Master's body of work is massive. No one student could hope to learn all her techniques. Mastering just a few already takes a lot of effort. Master had no choice but to recruit many students, split up what she knew into different portions, and pass it down through various individuals. So even though we see ourselves as representatives of Wheatsealing's school of shamanism, what we know isn't the sum of her legacy. Actually, I know of a shaman family that inherited some of Master's techniques. The family fell on hard times and lost the right to the priesthood. Still could be worth a shot.
But if they inherited Wheatsealing's secret technique, shouldn't the family be thriving?
Well, it's the only thing I can think of.
All right, give me their address.
I'll mark it out on your map.
To be honest, I'm not optimistic about the future of this investigation. That's because the request came from you. You don't know the power of your own words, do you?
Proving the legitimacy of this battle seems more hopeless by the second.
Nothing we can do about that.
Well, even if our investigation ultimately proves the legend to be false, that's still a worthwhile result. Although I'm here for business purposes, I have a personal interest in this as well. I'm drawn to matters of historical truth.
That's exactly why I chose to follow you, Monsieur Montluçon.
Listen, I'm just updating you on the situation, not asking for your opinion. I don't really care whether you continue your investigation.
And
Traveler, you came to me for help with your scroll weaving duty, right? You thought looking into the Battle of Seven Colors could give you answers. That's understandable. But based on our progress, I'd say this is a dead end. Instead of wasting time, you might consider taking a different approach. I'll try to think of another way to help you.
Respected traveler, let's not forget about the compensation I promised. You shall have it in full. Extra, if that's what it takes.
What makes you say that?
Yeah, based on what you've told us so far, it kinda seems like there's unresolved tension between you two.
You think so?
She claimed to be your friend, but picked fights with you non-stop, and never told you about her biggest accomplishment. By figuring out the truth behind the battle, maybe we can finally help you get closure.
Closure? I'd say we're 200 years too late. But fine, if you want to keep investigating, be my guest.
Ah, that's wonderful news.
Alright, let's go visit the Shaman family! Hello, are you a shaman?
Yep, that's me. Huh? Granny Eastly?
Get up! In a crowded market like this, the only person who should be trying to hide is me.
My apologies. Ever since my grandfather's generation, the shamans of my family have given up on passing your trial, Granny Eastly. Have we offended you in some other capacity?
Man, this is generational trauma at this point!
Whenever I misbehaved as a kid, Grandpa would tell me about the thrashing he received from Granny Eastly. I still get nightmares about it sometimes.
Hey, don't get any funny ideas. This was your idea, remember? Keep asking your questions. I'm going to find somewhere quiet to wait.
Okay, so your family studied under Citlali, right?
Yes, although that pretty much ended with my grandfather's generation, unfortunately. The techniques my family learned from Citlali didn't have much practical use in terms of tribal affairs, so during my grandfather's time, we quit the priesthood. Turns out, shaman techniques aren't that useful outside the priesthood either. So over time, we abandoned them altogether. Of course, it's possible that we were just too foolish to understand the true power of those teachings. After all, Citlali was a genius. None of her students have been able to fully reproduce her talent.
Do you know which techniques were passed on to your family?
I'm not sure. As a kid, I remember hearing my grandfather talk about them, but it's not like I can use them myself.
Just think about it for a sec. Do you remember anything about a technique that can decide the outcome of a battle?
Decide the outcome of a battle? No, I don't remember anything like that. Besides, my family wasn't really known for our talent. If a technique like that exists, I doubt Citlali would pass it on to us. You might have better luck asking one of the priests. They're descendants of Citlali's most gifted students.
Well, looks like we're back where we started.
Still no definitive evidence the Battle of Seven Colors took place. Alier, do you think we have enough to draw a conclusion?
All we have are non-witness accounts. We could put together an interview, but that's not going to hold up in academic circles.
Then we have to keep going.
Oh, you're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Yeah, you know about it?
Not a lot, but there's something special about my family. In addition to shaman techniques, Citlali's stories were passed down to us as well. Say what you want about my ancestors' dedication to shamanism, but they definitely paid attention to those stories. And of course, the Battle of Seven Colors is the most exciting story of them all.
We don't need another story. We need something concrete. Does no one in your tribe understand that?
I'm not sure if this is helpful, but the story passed down in my family is a little different from the one told in the tribe.
Really?
Well, it's Citlali's personal account of the events, so it's a lot more detailed. For example, in the version I heard, the battle took place in a location known as Chico Mostuck Cave.
That means you can tell us where to find it. Have you ever been to this place?
Unfortunately not.
I studied maps of Natlan before we left, Monsieur Montluçon. I don't remember ever seeing such a name.
Could your ancestors be mistaken, Mr. Ashemin?
It's unlikely. My family may have let the shamanism side of things fall by the wayside, but we're serious about these stories. In the words of my grandfather, some things deserve to be passed down more than secret arts.
If Huitzilin's version of events differs so much from the general understanding, that makes it even more likely the battle is completely made up.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Oh, hold on. You mentioned the Chico Mostuck Cave?
Oh, yes? Can I clear something up for you?
It's been more than 200 years. Huh. I never thought I'd hear that name again.
What do you mean?
That location is now known as the Valley of Fog. The Chico Mostuck Cave is what it was called 200 years ago.
Precisely when Huitziling was alive. That means, Monsieur Montluçon, we can confirm the original site of the battle. Once we get there, the evidence we need should be at our fingertips.
Just when we thought all hope was lost. I never doubted you, great shaman. Allow me to present you with a gift as thanks.
Save it. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me.
Wait, Mr. Montluçon works in publishing. You're a huge fan of light novels, right, Citlali? Maybe he could get you some that are out of print.
Really?
Out of print, huh? Sure. Do you have any in mind?
Well, if we're talking collectibles, then the first edition of Shogun Almighty Reborn as Raiden with Unlimited Power is a must. It's the first major hit of the isekai genre. Several editions have gone to print, but copies of the first edition are exceedingly rare and valuable.
I see.
There's also its sister work, Pretty Please Kitsune Guji. It was Yae Publishing House's attempt at gauging the new market trends. It's opened the door to a new genre after readers grew tired of isekais. The sales speak for themselves. Actually, Yae Publishing House released a limited edition not too long ago. But it's almost impossible to get. Anyway, I'll take those two.
Sorry, I'm not sure I caught all that. What were the titles again? Reborn as Kitsune Guji?
These two titles are among the most successful and well-known works in the entire industry. You're telling me, as someone who works in publishing, you've never heard of them?
I'm a merchant from Fontaine, after all. Regarding this particular genre from Inazuma, I'm afraid I lack your level of expertise.
Amateur.
Of course! Sounds like a perfect arrangement. Now, there's no time to waste. We should head to the site of the battle right away.
Once we get there, it'll take a bit more work to determine the actual location. Right now, all we have is a general idea.
Well, I'm sure Miss Citlali can help us with that.
Have you even looked at the time? It's already evening, and I have important plans tonight. You expect me to work through the night?
Well, what do you think, traveler? Okay, we'll find a place to rest for the night. When should we meet tomorrow?
He's persistent, huh?
How about noon?
Do we have to wait that long?
Great shamans have important matters to attend to in the morning. That's only because I have important tasks to complete at night.
All right, as Miss Citlali instructed. Let's meet back up tomorrow at noon. We'll be waiting at the exit of the tribal settlement.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, is Granny Citlali satisfied with my answer?
Yeah, of course. You really helped us out.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't offend her somehow.
You're really that scared of her?
To be honest, Granny Citlali almost never interacts with ordinary tribespeople like us. Everything we know about her comes from rumors. She's a powerful shaman who's lived for over 200 years. As a great hero, you're probably the only one who isn't intimidated by her.
Well, thanks for today, Citlali.
That's quite considerate of you. All right, let's grab a few drinks. Just like last time.
Wait, didn't you say you had important plans tonight?
What did you think I meant?
Does that mean you've gone drinking every night for the past 200 years? Now Paimon's worried about your health.
No, I've had enough socializing for one day. I know somewhere quiet. We can just buy some drinks and head over. Which will also give us a chance to solve the mind-reading issue. Considering the necessary spell work, I'd rather do it in private.
Pick a good date.
No, further up.
Further up? Whoa, this is like a secret base!
Sometimes I want the fresh air, but not the company. So I come here. Let's see if my stash is still here. Ah, great. The halberd crest birds didn't eat my snacks. Now for the mind reading issue. Give me your hand. It might take a little longer, actually. I just need to share my senses, make a clean break. And that should do it, right? You're not wrong. Hold on. Why do I still hear you in my head? Oh, did I not separate our senses completely? Maybe using my palm isn't enough? Close your eyes. Oh, please work, please work. A great shaman should be able to handle this. Okay, what about now? Huh? And now? Huh. Whenever I try to remove the effect, it just flips direction and gets worse. That was just to help with the spell. Ah, shoot. I still hear you. For a human soul, to lose the boundaries of the mind is to drown in the sea of consciousness without a concept of self.
Wait, that sounds bad!
I read that in a light novel. When it comes to the real world, I think it's pretty accurate.
Is Citlali drunk? She's not making much sense.
Anyway, we'll just have to leave it for now.
Hearing the Traveler's thoughts isn't that bad, right? You should just tease him. That's what Paimon would do.
It's just... I'm not good at this. I'm not used to being close to people. Sorry, I said we could be friends, but I guess I'm not ready. I'm used to being Granny Eatsley. Someone intimidating, someone people are scared to approach. I don't have to deal with people that way.
Yeah, Paimon's been wondering. Why do you insist on living so far away? You could easily become a leader of your tribe, someone everyone loves and respects.
When you live as long as me, a person is like a flower. The color draws you in. You water it to see it bloom. It rewards you with its fragrance, but it doesn't last. With the passing of the seasons, everything withers away. You can try to water it, but it will never bloom again. Even if the same plot of soil is covered in flowers the following year, the one you remember won't be there. That's just how it is. Most of the people in my life will be gone one day, just like a flower. Getting close means losing friend after friend for hundreds of years, until the weight of their memories crushes my soul. If people don't care about me, then I don't have to care about them. It's better if the people in my memories are nothing more than fleeting strangers.
Citlali.
You won't live as long as me, so you don't have to worry about that. Really? Then you should understand. Nearly everyone you know will be gone one day. Traveler?
Is something wrong?
Stupid mind-reading side effect won't go away. It's not like I want to hear you complain about me all the time.
Okay, she's definitely drunk. Citlali, maybe take it easy? At this rate, you might sleep past noon tomorrow.
I'm not drunk. I remember everything the traveler said. Just gotta think of a response. I'll think of something.
Uh-oh, not this again. Is she asleep?
I'm fine. Can get home by myself.
Is she talking in her sleep or talking to us? She seems kind of out of it.
Bye. Gonna walk back alone. Need some time to think.
All right. This should be the place we decided to meet yesterday. Who knows if Citlali will show up on time? She drank so much last night, she might not even be up yet.
Ahem.
Citlali!
No need to sound so surprised. Drinking is just a way to pass the time. I mastered the art of moderation long ago. Last night doesn't count. It was a minor slip-up, that's all. Anyway, I gave everything a lot of thought, and I think you're right about something. The Battle of Seven Colors holds the key to a lot of the answers I've been searching for.
So that's why you're here so early.
Traveler, great shaman. Sorry to keep you waiting. Shall we head out?
Just follow me. I'll confirm the location myself.
Of course.
This should be it.
So the battlefield is inside this place.
That could explain a lot of our academic questions.
Don't lose focus. Once we get to the actual site of the battle, all the evidence needed for publication will be at our fingertips.
Everyone ready?
So the Abyss invaded through a cave like this?
When the Abyss first began to corrode the ley lines, they took every opening they could get.
All the items here should be useful for our research.
You're not to touch a single one without my nod of approval.
I don't support invasive excavation techniques either.
Ah, of course. I'll defer to the experts on this matter. Well, shall we continue?
There are weapons here from every tribe in Natlan. The battle must have encompassed the entire nation.
Sounds like we're getting closer to what the legend describes. But all we can really say is that a battle took place here. There's still no evidence of any colors or some elaborate maze.
Wow, you're really invested in the Battle of Seven Colors.
Well, it's the reason I came to Natlan in the first place. Grudok, send some of your men to search the area. We might miss something all grouped together like this. I'd like to cover all our bases.
All the bases. You got it.
Don't jump to conclusions. Of course this isn't the site of the actual battle. We have to keep going.
This wall is in our way!
I might have an idea. Traveler, try removing that sphere.
color magic?
It's very close to the technique Citlali might have used.
That's it? Doesn't quite compare to the scale described in the legend.
Still, what a terrific archaeological find.
Enough chit-chat. We should keep going. The deeper we go, the more we'll find. Hold on. If we step here, we might fall through.
You mean there are traps in here?
Remember how we were able to pass through the wall just now? It must have been because, on our person, we were carrying the same color as the wall. Let's put the sphere down and see what happens.
Whoa, you're right. We can keep going now. Wait, what was that? What is this place?
Look! A maze made of colors.
It's real. I can't believe it.
Hold on. The quality of this space. This isn't reality. It's a realm of memory.
Huh?
No. This is a space constructed using memories as a medium. The principle is similar, but the two are not the same.
Correct?
Citlali?
What?
No. It's just a trace of her consciousness left behind after creating this space.
Friends, this is my question to you. What is our strongest weapon against the Abyss? In my opinion, it's memory. After all, is it not after losing the capacity for memory, love, and compassion that our enemies fell to the Abyss? That is why, with our memories, we possess a power the Abyss cannot hope to match. I have discovered the perfect medium for us to wield that weapon. You know it as color. The more cherished the memory, the more vivid its color. As memories disappear, their color fades first. That is why color is the best vehicle to wield the power of memory. Guided by vibrant colors, your capacity for memory is what will allow you to navigate this maze. Without that capacity, enemies will fail to cross the barrier in front of them and be trapped here for eternity. So, be brave, my friends, and march forward!
Any ideas, Citlali?
Sounds like she left a tutorial. Not surprising. She always did have to handhold her talentless students. Follow me. Abyss creatures. Likely trapped here for some time. Looks like a few monsters made it out of the battle all those years ago. You two! Time to end them! Locked on!
What's with these color-changing blocks? You and Citlali fell through all of a sudden. You scared Paimon half to death!
Must be one of the mechanics of the maze. I'm guessing the purpose is to help allies navigate this place.
Oh no! More monsters?
Ah, shoot. They're blocking the way forward. Let's get rid of them.
Let's fly! Open fire! Bullseye! This place is so pretty. If not for those monsters, Paimon would have never guessed this was a battlefield.
The showmanship's not bad, I'll give her that.
Is this a bridge made of colors?
Don't sound so surprised. We just need to cross and we should reach the end.
We're out! Looks like we made it through the maze.
Hold on. This is...
Whoa, so pretty! The thing inside the sphere looks exactly like the maze!
It's like a miniature blueprint made from a special dye.
That color.
The dye was modified using a secret technique to harness the power of memories and create mazes like the one we just witnessed. Without that power, it's just a normal dye. But the color it produces is still quite rare. I would say this is the most direct evidence that the Battle of Seven Colors actually took place.
The expert has spoken!
Perhaps I could take a closer look? It's an important piece of physical evidence, after all.
No, you may not.
What are you doing?
You noticed my signal. Not bad, Traveler. We make a good team.
Huh. So, you've been watching me.
A self-proclaimed book merchant who's never heard of Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power? Please, that work was a commercial success across Teyvat. I knew you were fishy, but I didn't expect you to pull something like this.
Monsieur Montluçon, we just need a few pictures for our research, not the artifact itself. What if it gets damaged or destroyed?
Shut it! I couldn't care less about preserving this piece of trash. I would destroy it right now if I could.
But then there would be no evidence to prove the battle took place!
What if that was my goal all along?
What?
Huh. Pretending to be a book merchant? Pretending to promote the history of Natlan and its heroes was the only way to get information out of the people in this tribe! But make no mistake, I'm no lowly merchant. I am the future owner of the largest printing company in all of Teyvat. But the dye in that sphere ruined all my plans before they could even get off the ground.
We've received a report that your advertisement in the paper makes false claims. Fontaine Law demands it be taken down immediately.
False claims? The dye I advertised is an unprecedented innovation. It produces colors of unmatched radiance.
Unfortunately, its qualities are neither unprecedented nor unmatched. According to the lady who made the report, she saw a woven scroll in Natlan made with a similar dye. Even more miraculous, that substance dates back hundreds of years.
How? Creating this dye is the culmination of my entire life's work! You're telling me I'm hundreds of years too late?
Calm down, sir!
Sorry, it's just... I know this product will be a hit. The economic boost to Fontaine will be huge! We just need to advertise it as written. Fontaine's publishing industry is one of the best in the world. All we need to do is publish something in the paper, and all of Teyvat will think it was our invention first. We don't need to worry about more reports. Fontaine is far more advanced than Natlan. No one will believe such an innovative product could come from a place like that.
That goes against all of Fontaine's advertisement regulations. We can't do that!
What if I give you a portion of the profits? All you have to do is let the advertisement stay.
You're trying to bribe me? Careful. I'm dangerously close to reporting this to Monsieur Novelette.
I knew if I was just allowed to market my product, it would be a hit. A bestseller even. I would be a giant in the printing industry. But now, no one will see it as anything more than a poor imitation marketed centuries too late. No matter how good the product actually is, not a single one will sell. I will never accept that someone from this backwoods, ignorant nation could come up with that dye. Not 200 years before me!
Even when the truth is right in front of you?
Ha! Truth is in the eye of the beholder. I'm already in the printing industry. I can go into publishing, no problem. All I have to do is destroy this sphere, write a detailed report about my findings, and publish it around the world. Then, the so-called truth becomes your word against mine. Once my report is accepted as fact, no one can accuse me of making false claims.
That's awful! What happened to restoring the truth of history?
That plan hasn't changed. I will continue to spread my truth for all of Teyvat to see. Ah, you mean a hero of Natlan who's not actually from Natlan? And a great shaman who, according to rumor, abandoned her tribe long ago? From a practical perspective, there's no reason for either of you to stand against me.
Shows what you know.
Oh, since you like rumors so much, have you heard the one about what happens to people who get on my bad side?
Ah, the wrath of Granny Citlali. Like I said, our interests aren't at odds. I knew from the beginning that you would accept my invitation, considering Hwitzalin was your rival. You've lived longer than her, you're far stronger than her, and yet, she has always been more revered than you. Now, that can change. With the backing of the printing industry, I can take any book and send it to all four corners of Teyvat. This part of Natlan's history will be mine to tell. And in my version, I can erase the Battle of Seven Colors. You can be the one to have all the glory.
That's not real history.
That's a no, then? Your history means nothing to me. But it's not allowed to stand in the way of my Mora.
Done running your mouth? Good. Before handing you over to the tribe, I think I'll have my way with you first.
If this comes to a fight, per my contract, you're gonna have to go through me.
That's right. I didn't pay all that Mora for nothing.
Wait, aren't you subordinates of the captain? Why are you helping someone who wants to erase Natlan's history?
The captain. You actually bought that? United in the pursuit of Mora, we travel the land to collect debts. Our loyalty is to Regrader, his interests, and his wealth.
Regrader?
The captain means nothing to them. They serve a different harbinger altogether. Regrader!
This man has the potential to become a giant in the printing industry and disrupt Fontaine's economic system. This aligns with Regrader's interests.
It's all been a lie from the very beginning!
I don't care who you serve. When it comes to punishment, I don't discriminate. Fulfill our pact! Take me up!
This isn't good. Let's move.
Get to work! You two! Time to end them! Suffer the wrath of Eastleigh!
You can't run from death.
That's what you get for messing with the hero of Natlan and Granny Citlali. They could give Regrader a run for his Mora.
When did this person get so strong? Looks like the men following the captain failed to update us on the latest intelligence. Not good. This is becoming more trouble than it's worth. You're on your own!
Hey, what about our contract? Your boss signed it himself!
Our boss never signs a contract without loopholes. Even a veteran businessman like yourself fell into his trap. That's what makes him the best! Go home and read the fine print. All I did was trigger the exculpatory clause.
You!
The other stipulations have been fulfilled. I set up explosives around the cave, strong enough to destroy this place, as instructed. Oh, and for security purposes, all explosives have been rigged to blow at a specific time. Shouldn't be too long now.
What? This whole place is gonna collapse?
You were supposed to wait until I made it out! Are you trying to kill me?
That depends on how fast you can run. I'm off.
You think you can just waltz out of here? Traveler, stop them, and then we'll make a break for it.
If I'm caught, I implicate my boss. Time for the backup plan.
Wait, don't!
Where are we? Back in the maze? Our surroundings look different, though. What did that Fatui guy do? Good point. She'll know how to get out of here. Let's hurry. If we don't make it out before the cave collapses, we might never be able to leave. Let's see. Citlali! Oh, looks like it's not gonna be that easy. What should we do? The special color? The one you saw in that woven scroll? Why would it appear around here? You're right. Lead the way, traveler.
He triggered it just like that? If the technique isn't activated correctly...
Instead of a realm of memory, the subjects in question will be trapped in a temporary space like this. If you cannot escape in time, it's mutually assured destruction. But I can't fault someone for using it as a last resort.
I knew it! Someone of your skill wouldn't leave behind memory fragments just to parrot instructions. You must have the capacity for conscious thought.
I appreciate the compliment. It's been a long time, my friend.
This is no time for a reunion! The cave outside is about to collapse. I know time flows differently in this place, but that still doesn't leave us much time. Can you help me get out?
You misunderstand, Citlali. I'm nothing more than a fragment of memory. There's not much I can do.
What do you mean? This space can be manipulated, right? The exit of your maze. I remember its structure. If I create an exit here, I can leave. You just need to tell me how to manipulate this space.
The maze you saw earlier was constructed using the memories of many warriors of Natlan. When people leave deep impressions on each other, their memories form connections. These connections are particularly strong between comrades in arms. That is how I created my maze. The connections between the memories were my needle and thread, and the special color was my fabric. But if that color is crudely combined with an isolated memory, one without connections, you get a place like this. This space is a combination of my color and your memories. There is no way to alter or construct anything within it, because there are no connections at your disposal.
Over 200 years, and not a single lasting connection. This is my punishment, huh?
Well, at the very least, you have a connection to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to appear in this space.
That's only because you never gave me a moment's peace. Still, it's a shame you're not around. You said it yourself. A memory fragment can't be used to create the connections I need.
Citlali.
But now that I have the chance to talk to you again, I need you to give me an answer. Your special technique. You didn't pass it on to your students. You passed it on to the rival you could never beat. Me. What I want to know is, why?
So you figured it out.
After what I saw in the maze and everything you just told me, I'm certain the technique at the center of all this is the same one you taught me all those years ago. But you never brought up the fact that you used it to win a battle. From your description, it might as well have been a simple color trick. I'm getting the feeling you always meant for me to come here. But if this is a foreshadowed event, I'm not happy with the narrative setup.
Citlali, ever since you learned that technique, you've been able to see a special color, haven't you?
You mean...
That color is the core of the technique. But it isn't my invention. It's something I discovered in the work of our ancestors. More specifically, you could call it the color of memories. In truth, passing on the technique is a process of using that color to tint another person's memories. Yes, the technique has the power to decide victory. But in my opinion, the capacity to add color to someone's memories is where the true value lies. You are fated to live a far longer life than me, Citlali. I couldn't bear the thought of all those years existing as a blank canvas in your memory. So I wanted to leave a little color behind.
Your color, you mean?
One day, you too will want to leave behind your color in someone else's memory. When that day comes, you will understand my decision.
I have to get out of here. That's the only way to rescue them.
Citlali, what are you?
I understand the true principle of this technique now. If I can't construct an exit, then I will separate this color from my memories by force.
But you could lose a portion of your memories that way.
I know, but my memory is just a blank canvas I've neglected for 200 years. My friends are worth the risk. Traveler?
When you entered the realm of memory I constructed, I used your memories to learn about your recent experiences. I have a feeling you're the one who will be saved this time. After 200 years, someone has appeared by your side, the kind of person I could have never anticipated. The Night Kingdom harbors Natlan's memories, and the Traveler's connection to that realm is incredibly strong, surpassing even the shamans who worship the Lord of the Night. This means that, even without your tutelage, he can see the color of memories.
What did you say?
Although he doesn't know how to wield it, he unknowingly left behind a trace of color in your memories. That was enough to guide him to this space. You now have a connection at your disposal. Well, Citlali, it looks like part of this was foreshadowed, but the rest is a surprise.
Traveler? Traveler!
That's Citlali's voice! She's just up ahead!
This is goodbye, my friend. Your memories over the past 200 years are much more than a blank canvas. Cherish them.
Wheat ceiling.
Citlali!
Paimon! Traveler! Hold my hand.
Did we teleport out? Man, that place was so... Woo! We made it out just in time! Wonder what happened to the Fatui guy and the others.
He was most likely trapped inside that space, just like us. The external structures supporting that space would have collapsed with the ruin. Unless he managed to escape, he would have been crushed.
He still preferred that to being caught, huh? They were standing a bit further away, right? They probably weren't pulled into the space. Maybe they already made a run for it.
Hello?
It's one of Maluson's employees! Quick, restrain him!
Oh, I can explain. I had no idea Malu-san was such a terrible person. I couldn't stop him from running, so I stayed behind and tried to find people to help rescue you. I'm so glad you managed to get out of there.
Either way, the guards will take you back to the tribe. You'll be their problem.
I understand.
Anyway, I'm not here to harp on you. I just need to know one thing. Which way did he run?
He went that way, but I'm not sure if you can catch up.
That way? Huh. Unless he suddenly grows a pair of wings, I think we're okay. Traveler, Paimon, come with me.
I'll wait here for the tribal guards. I'm so sorry the ruin was destroyed.
Hey, it's Elder Tlapo and a group of Ictomisaurs! They caught Maluson!
Something felt off about him yesterday, so I set a few things in motion. Looks like it's time for that foreshadowing to pay off.
My bank balance! No! No!
What's wrong with him?
That's one of the tricks Claw uses to scare people. He makes people hallucinate the thing that scares them most. It's particularly effective on weak-minded people like him.
Serves him right!
I know, it was a lot to ask, making you come all the way out here during the day.
Was that a declaration? Elder Tlapo didn't appoint us to a whole other task, did he?
Forget about him for now. The Ictomisaurs will make sure Montluçon doesn't escape before the guards arrive. In the meantime, we have unfinished business, remember?
Right, the special scroll! But the die is buried underneath a bunch of rubble now.
Don't worry, Witziling's technique hasn't been lost at all. Come with me, I'll explain everything at my house. Oh, and Traveler? Everything you said about memory, I finally figured out my answer. I knew you'd want to tag along. Let's go.
my bank balance.
Let's hope you'll put up a good fight. Let's hope you'll put up a good fight.
Come at me.
Take a deep breath and grit your teeth. All ice on you! All ice on you!
Now, when it comes to weaving the scroll itself, you don't actually need to lift a finger. But if we're going to pass on Wheatziling's technique, your participation is critical.
What are you saying, Citlali?
Follow me.
Whoa, look at this place. Do you weave scrolls too?
Scrolls. Scrolls? I thought you were going to show me your masterpiece.
That I am, old friend. The technique I'm about to show you directly relates to woven scrolls.
Fine. What is it? Something that can turn the tide of war or prevent a great disaster? You probably want to challenge me, right? I know you don't have the strength for a real fight, so I'll let you beat me with words.
Old friend, my life is nearing its end. I'm afraid I don't have time for another match.
Hey.
Don't worry. I trust in the belief of our tribe that death is not the end, but the beginning of a new existence in the Night Kingdom, where everything is made of memories. So, do you know why our ancestors insisted on using colorful, woven scrolls to record our history? Because history is the memory of a people. We give our scrolls an orange hue, so the dead can still feel the warmth of the setting sun. We decorate them with kernels of grain fruit, so the dead can still enjoy the abundance of our harvests.
I know that, but something this important? Why entrust it to me and not one of your students?
As your friend, I admit, I'm being a bit selfish. I don't have long, Citlali. Oh, I'm not sure I can truly explain my decision. But I know you will understand one day. For now, will you accept my final request?
Just this once. I understand now, Wheatsealing. Just like you said I would. Claw, help me move this outside. I'm going to color it. Traveler, Paimon, come with me.
We are like birds, soaring through the horizons of time. I linger between brushes of memory, seeking the color of my final journey. When I get there, may there be feathers to paint the sky, shades of rose. And fields of green to beckon adventurous souls. And azure oceans with which to sail into the unknown. And volcanoes too, where, despite the danger, hidden treasure waits to be found. And graffiti art, of course. Without that color, just imagine the dullness of night.
Anything else?
In the end, I hope everyone remembers my color too.
I hope everyone remembers your color too. All in all, it was just a technique for coloring a scroll.
The task I'm entrusting to you is much more than that. Farewell, my friend.
I knew you would understand.
This is the special scroll. How did you know how to weave it, Citlali? Hold on! You've lived for more than 200 years. You know how to weave the special scroll. That must mean... you're the one behind the gifts from the spirits!
Oh, well, it's not like I wanted to interact with the appointed. So whenever I delivered the scroll, I used illusions to confuse them. The fact that it turned into some kind of divine intervention is because no one was skilled enough to see through my tricks.
You've carried the duty alone for all these years? Even if you don't like interacting with people, why not teach someone else how to do it?
Traveler, you can see the special color, right? The essence of that color is memory. That means completing the special scroll is a process of searching for color within your memories. Passing the technique on to someone means sharing your memories with them. You need to leave traces of your color in their memory, and they must do the same. Even though I only confirmed that today, I've had suspicions for a long time. And, well, ever since Sweet Celine died, I haven't wanted to form that kind of connection with people.
Oh, yeah.
It was her final wish, so I kind of resigned myself to taking on the burden forever. After all, I have all the time in the world. But Claw never stopped appointing new candidates to weave the scroll, despite knowing exactly how I felt about the situation. I knew exactly what he was doing. And yeah, if I ever did share my memories with someone, I guess that person would be a friend. But it never got to that point. This time, though, you win, Claw. Take this. I guess it's my response to what you told me the other night.
What is it?
If I had to choose my color, it would be the color of this handkerchief. Countless people exist in my memories, and I know one day that will be my fate too. A memory living on in someone else's head. Since you have a long lifespan, you're the perfect candidate to bear this memory and carry my color in your mind. Just keep it safe. And you better not forget my color when I'm gone.
Whoa. It's a little early to talk about death, don't you think? It's only been a few seconds since we made the friendship official.
Isn't that what friends are for?
Okay, this is a serious commitment. Well, Citlali, if the Traveler's going to leave their color in your mind too, it'll probably be gold, right?
Actually, their mark is already there. Remember the mind-reading effect I couldn't fix? Well, I finally got to the bottom of it. Sharing senses allows communication to occur between the consciousness of different people. Naturally, memories are also involved in that process. Although I didn't know it at the time, we both have the ability to see the color of memory, which means that when I shared my senses with you, a connection was created between our memories. And that connection is what caused my original spell to go haywire.
So, you can hear the Traveler's thoughts because you left traces of color in each other's memories? And that's why the Traveler could hear your thoughts too, because it works both ways, right?
Quick thinking, but only those trained in the mystic arts can maintain that level of connection. That's why I can still hear the Traveler's thoughts, but not the other way around. There's no need to worry, though. Now that I've figured out how it works, I'll get rid of it in no time.
Oh.
I lied. Hearing each other's thoughts actually depends on the strength of the connection between our memories. So, after everything we just went through, I bet you can hear me again. I knew it. Since the connection between our memories is already there, the only way to get rid of the effect is for one of us to forget about the other. Just messing with you. I'm a legendary shaman of my tribe. Now that I know the cause, of course I can figure out how to fix it. It'll probably take some time though, so bear with me for now. Besides, I'm an open book. It's not like you're gonna hear anything embarrassing. Oh, unless I've had a few drinks. A shame? I mean, if you ever miss this whole telepathy mess, I could always share my senses with you again. No promises, though. Some thoughts are better kept to yourself.
Huh?
Ah, you did it? Your investigation into the Battle of Seven Colors must have been fruitful indeed. I do hope you share what you learned.
Wow! The scroll is finished already!
Elder Talapo's wisdom is never wrong.
Yeah, we should explain. Take it away, Traveler!
I see.
You don't look surprised at all.
It makes perfect sense. History is the memory of a people. If we want to depict it, A dye derived from people's memories is, of course, the best choice. Now, it's just a matter of preserving this secret technique. From your description, it sounds like learning the technique requires the previous holder to share their memories.
Well, yeah.
In that case, I must work with our priests to reinvent the technique based on the principles you described. After all, memories are precious things, meant to be shared with those closest to us. I cannot take that choice away from you, Traveler. You completed your task admirably. Finding a way to carry on that legacy is now our duty.
All right, we'll leave that to you.
And please pass along my thanks to Granny Citlali. We interrogated the Fontanian merchant she apprehended, and it turns out he's the reason some among our tribe started to question our history. He hired people to spread misinformation about the Battle of Seven Colors. The recent friction within the tribe is entirely his doing. We now have a record of his crimes, and will begin working with Fontaine authorities in a few days.
So he was behind the controversy in the first place. Guess it's easier to investigate when people are already questioning something. Anyway, that clears it up. People don't just question their history out of nowhere.
Until we meet again.
Ah, Natlan's victory against the Abyss. Very fitting for a scroll like this.
I wonder how long until Elder Talapo chooses the next appointed.
Speaking of Elder Talapo, I heard he went missing yesterday. Do you know what happened?
Elder Talapo works in mysterious ways. The meaning of his departure will become clear in time, but for now, we cannot hope to fathom it.
You told him everything, right?
Yep, we left out the part about your contribution, but it kinda seemed like Chief Biram saw through us.
You could have just said it was a gift from the spirits. I guess he is different from the previous chiefs. But if he figures out it was me all these years, I'm in for a world of trouble.
Huh, there you are! I've been looking everywhere for you.
Oh, it's the other Fontanian researcher. He wasn't taken away with his boss?
Please, call me Allier. After questioning, the tribe absolved me of any serious wrongdoing, so here I am. I'll be heading back to Fontaine soon. No employer means no funding, after all. But I wanted to finish my investigation first. I'd like to ask some questions about Citlali. I want people outside of Natlan to hear her story, but my understanding still has some holes.
Questions? Huh! Why should I let an Outlander tell our stories?
Don't misunderstand. I have no intention of twisting your history or using it to make a profit. It's just honest curiosity, I assure you. I believe amazing stories deserve to be shared with the world. Culture thrives through dialogue and exchange.
All right, you can ask your questions, but be quick. I have important plans after this.
Important plans?
Oh, thank you very much.
Another day, another drained social battery. Hold on. You owe me a pair of books.
Oh, that! When it comes to light novels, your memory is like a steel trap, huh?
You're telling me. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. You might need to go to Yae Publishing House in person. But I don't need them right away. Just don't forget, okay?
Of course! We'll get them sent to you as soon as we can!
Sent to me? Nuh-uh. I don't want a stranger knocking on my door when I'm hungover. Here, just take this.
And this is?
The key to my house. Don't bother knocking next time. You'll disturb my sleep.